Hello and welcome aboard. Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and here we are now with the 5th delivery of the DeAgostini Ferrari, and it's absolutely gorgeous, loving it to bits. And here I'm going to show you the 5th delivery and what we get in here. So this is going to be packs 15 onwards. So you can see in here we've got pack 15, which is some pipes and an oil tank by the look of things. Then we've got 16, which looks like part of the subframe. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's looking very nicely detailed and sharp and everything. Really nice. Then we've got here 17. So we've got some cross members there. We've got some more hosing and lots of tiny screws. Lots and lots of screws. We've got a wishbone there, an upright by the look of it, part of a shock absorber. And then 19, we've got, that looks like a brake disc cover, a caliper, and a drive shaft. So all looking good. And then in 20 here we've got the other side. So this is going to be the sort of rear part of the chassis, the tubular space frame. And they've got the magazines in here, as you can see. So we've got 15 to 20, yes. And then we've got another case for storing the magazines in. So interesting, I didn't know that was coming. So let's without further ado, have a look at pack 15 and see what we're going to be doing. Okay, so just like we always do, we'll have a look at the magazine first. I've got the various parts we're going to need. Before we actually start looking at this, something I want to say, we've got lots and lots of parts, lots of tiny parts here, lots of screws. I've got another tray here with parts, and now it's pretty obvious what these bits here are. These are intake trumpets. When it comes to small parts like this, like I've got a spring in there and I've got a spring in a bag, I think it would be wise, because with this model, I mean this came from way back, and it's obvious what it is, but with these smaller parts I think it would be worth bagging them and just writing on the bag what the part is, because I know that in here we're using a spring, in the beginning of the build we're using a spring here at 10H. And then we go over the page, we've got another spring here, 13I. Now luckily they're the same, so that's lucky, but if they were different I wouldn't know which is which because I haven't labelled them. So probably worth labelling the parts. As I say, we've got lots of parts here, lots of little parts that need to be labelled basically. So I've got a tiny little part in there and I'm not sure what it is. But I'm sure we're going to come to use it at some point and I'll be able to identify it then. But anyway, let's start off by having a look at the magazine. So in here we've got all the interesting stuff from DeAgostini. If you want to get one of these, and I really would recommend it, is absolutely bloody brilliant. If you want to get one of these, you can go onto their a link in the description below and have a look about getting one, because it really is a very, very nicely detailed model. If you look at this engine, how it's coming together, it is very nice indeed. It's nicer than some other 8 scale models I've built, I can assure you that. It's very nice indeed. So the most Ferrari of all, yeah, this is the one everybody thinks of when you talk Ferrari, I think. The 250 GTO, absolutely beautiful. What a gorgeous, gorgeous car, and worth an absolute fortune these days. And you can see, beautiful looking car, absolutely beautiful. And there's another beautiful Ferrari, as they all are. The 365 GTB4 Daytona, and this is, if you're British, you can see here when you look at the lines of this car, you can see there Rover SD1. You got the body lines, you got the front end. Rover SD1 was very much taken, I think, from the 365 GTB4. Fantastic drivetrain with the transaxle to get the weight distribution good. Really, really lovely car. You can see it there in competition. Up against there's a Camaro, there's a Porsche 910 there. Not sure what that is there. But yeah, beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous car. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3 there with, what's that there? Is that a GT40 Mark 6? I'm not sure. Got those beautiful 635 BMWs there. But, yeah, beautiful. They're not 635s, are they? No, they're pre-635. So here we've got the parts for this part 15. So here you can see we have the bag. I'm going to put these magazines out of the way. So I'm going to get this bag open, and we've got lots going on here. We've got a bag of screws. Okay, so there's that lot there with screws and hoses, and then we've got a separate sort of bag here, which is the plastic tray of parts. No doubt we'll have some parts left over at the end, which we seem to always do. Okay, so we'll just check our parts first. So we've got 1, 2, 3 plastic hoses. Yeah, we've got 2 little greeblies there. We've got 1 little greebly there. That's that in there. So we've got our hose. We've got 3 lots of screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's another 2 lots of screws in there. So yeah, it looks like we've got everything. Everything's here. I'm just looking. I can't see that part there. There it is. There it is there. Okay, so I've also got some metal screws, so I may do some thread cutting in this one. We shall see. So without further ado, we finish with the magazine. So let's get the light on and start looking at the build. And you can see here what they're saying is take your the right hand cylinder head assembly, okay, and this spring 10H, which is over here. Okay, so I'm going to take this spring. Excuse the state of my fingers and hands, guys. I've been working on my Fiat 131. If you haven't seen it, go and have a look. Nigel's Fiat 131, the channel's called. Where I'm, if you like, you could call it restoring a Fiat 131. But listen to what I'm saying and you'll hear more than just restoring. So we're going to fit this spring. So, but at least the dirt in my fingernails and everything is, at least it's genuine Italian dirt. So to go with the Italian Ferrari. So we're going to take this spring and we're going to insert it. We've got a hole there and we've got a hole in here. So this spring is going to go, it's going to hook into this metal bracket here, just like so. Okay, and then it's going to hook into that plastic bracket there. And there you've got a nice accurate depiction of a throttle return spring. As you can see there, looking lovely. Okay, so we're going to put that to one side, and then we're going to take our blister pack and we will take out these parts. So we need, here we're going back to 14 now. We're doing lots and lots of part sharing, if you like. So we're going to take that part out of there, and then we're going to get 14D, which I saw in here, I think. Is that 14D? It certainly looks like it. We'll just double check. We'll grab the magazine from 14. We'll look at the parts, and you can see there we've got the trumpets. 14D, yes. So, as I say, it's worth marking these parts up when they're left over. Bigger parts like this isn't so bad because it's quite obvious what it is. But when you come to smaller parts like those springs, it's not so easy to see what they are. So we've got that there. We're going to put this tray of parts over here. This is so, if you like, complicated. It's fun. It's a very enjoyable little build, this model. I'm really enjoying it very, very much indeed. It really is very well detailed, well designed, and well thought out. So we've got this part here. So you can see we've got a ridge in, like an undercut in there on that side. So we'll have that to the right. And then this bracket is going to go, this is 14D. And as you can see, 14D has a hole in one side and not in the other. And the hole needs to be over to the left. Oh, okay, so it's keyed. We've got this keyhole type slot there. So that's going to go in there. And then that screw is going to go into there. And we're just going to lock that down. Okay, it's an AP screw, so it's a P for plastic. So don't go graunching it up, just enough to hold it in place. Just like so. So that's that in there. Then we're going to take 15J and 15I. So 15J is here. And 15I is here. Okay, so both these parts are plastic. And what we're going to do is mount the lever on the tank body 15J. Just scratch my eye a second. simply insert the pin into the hole. So we've got a D-shaped hole and a D-shaped pin, so that is going to go in like that. And there we go, and you can see that when you look at it, you can see it's on an angle as they're showing in the magazine there. Okay, so now we're going to take another AP screw. Alright, so we'll get one out on our magnetic screwdriver. Just want one. We'll preload the screw onto the screwdriver, and then we will take this part here and we will fit it onto there like that. Okay, so now we've got this turned around, so this recess is on the left, and this is going to go into there like that. Okay, and then put the screw in there. As I say all the time with this model, guys, if you want to super detail it, remove sprue gates and stuff like that, then you can. I'm not doing it because I have to build it as instructed by DeAgostini because they sponsor this build. So things like here, you've got this sprue gate here and you've got a sprue gate there. You could sand those off, get rid of the seam lines, repaint it, have all looking spanking and lovely. So there we go. Things like that sprue gate there, you see that edge there? You could sand that away. You could put the tank together, get rid of the seam, all sorts of stuff just to make it look a little bit sharper. But I'm building it out of the box so that you can see what you can get if you build it out of the box. Alright, so that's gone together there with that screw. So now we're going to take 15D. Okay, so we've got 15D, we've got 15E, and we've got 15G. Alright, and we've got a KP screw. Here is a KP, so this is going to be it for KP because there's two in there and you always get one spare. Okay, so that bag can be closed back up. That can go over there out of the way because we're not going to need it again. I'm not sure this screwdriver will drive that one. Will this one drive that one? Yes, it will. Okay, so we are going to take this part here, which is 15F. Alright, and that is symmetrical, so it has no sort of guide pins or anything on it. And then this part here, this is going to go over there. So this is the filler neck, if you like, and this is the filler cap. And then here we've got the breather sticking out the side. So you can see here we've got a pipe coming out here and a lug on there, and we want those level with the cap. So what we're going to do is put this onto here and have that little drain hole sticking out. So you've got that little lug on there. It's going to go into that slot in there. Okay, and then we're going to pop that screw into there just like so. You can see it's turning because I've pushed it up. Bring it back down. Okay, the cap. What it is, we're putting the screw into the cap and the cap is not keyed. So what you've got to do is hold that cap and stop it turning while you drive this screw in. Now obviously the orientation of the cap doesn't matter, but the orientation of the neck where that pipe comes out does matter. So I've got to somehow hold this together. There we go. I've got to stop it all turning. It's really difficult. Oh wow, that is really difficult. Okay, so I'm going to show you an easy way to get over this. Alright, so take this apart. Okay, take that part off of there. If you can get it off, that is. So before you put this together, this is what I would suggest. Okay, hold this cap in your fingers and then get the KP screw and screw it in. Okay, and that way it's going to cut its own little thread in there. Okay, it doesn't need to go all the way in. Just go until it stops. God, it's tough. Alright, so we're going to screw that into there like that. Okay, so now we've got that. It's cut. So the screw should go in now a lot easier. The trouble is, you see, you've got this separate ring is keyed, but the actual cap itself is not keyed, so the cap just wants to spin when you put the screw in. But if you do what I just did, it will go together a lot easier. You'll be able to hold the cap while you tighten the screw down. There we go. The orientation of the cap is unimportant. It doesn't matter where it is, because obviously it will just stop where it stops. Okay, so there we go. That's that done. Right. So take the upper part of the tank, 15A, we got that. Right. Now we've got to get 2 AP screws. Right, so we get, where's my better magnetic screwdriver? Okay, so there's your spare AP screw, so that can be left over there. We'll preload the screwdriver, and then we're going to take the top and the bottom of the tank, and we're going to put them together. Now I'm just going to check, will they go any way? No, they won't. So they've been engineered so that they can only go one way. So basically the lever, I assume that's a priming lever, it needs to be, oh, AC. Okay. Not sure what that means. And then we're going to put these 2 AP screws in here and pull these tank halves together. Just like so. There we go, just like that. Then we are going to take 15H, take the ventilation hose 15H and press it onto the pin on the tank connector 15G. So where was our hose? I had it here earlier. There it is. Duh. Right, so here we are. It's all coiled up. So we'll leave that coiled up for now. And then we're going to push that over that pipe there. Okay, so there we go. So there's our ventilation hose on the tank. Take the gearbox and left engine block, place it on a worktop with the 15K plate and 2 MP screws, photo A. Place the plate over the 2 holes on the edge of the valve cover, photo B. So we've got this plate here. So this is 15K. Alright, so that's that plate there. I think that's metal as well. And then we've got our engine and gearbox here. So we are going to take, so that's actually going, it's going to go onto that hole there. Okay, so we've got to use 2 MP screws. MP screws are here. Okay, so we've got 2 of these. Leave one in the bag. That one will be a spare. So now we'll take our tiny little Tamiya screwdriver, preload that. We've got this piece here, and this is going to go on. This is going to be awkward. So I'm going to hold this in place. I'm going to use tweezers to hold it in place so that you can see what's going on. And then I'm going to bring the screw down into that hole and attempt to screw it in. I say attempt because it's easier said than done, and I've lost the screw down in there now. Let me get the screw back on the screwdriver. Surely this would have been easier to do before we fitted the valve cover. So maybe I found my first complaint about build sequence. There we go. Okay, we'll get the other screw here. Get it on the screwdriver properly. Get that one to go into there, just like so. Careful not to slip, because if you slip you'll scratch the paintwork. You'll forever look at it and think, oh, why did I do that? Okay, so that's gone in there. All right, proper little model this is, I tell you. Then we are going to take spring 13I, which I believe is this one here because it's the only spring I've got. So 13I, which is exactly the same as 10H, so don't worry about getting them mixed up. And we are going to put this spring between this throttle lever here and this bracket here. Now they're showing it as going over the, you can see that the spring here is going over the ignition leads there rather than through them, so we'll do the same. So I'm going to hook that in there, which is easier said than done. Okay, I've just been working on the rear brakes on that Fiat Mirafura, and I can tell you these springs are a lot nicer to work with than the ones in the in those Fiat brakes. There we go, that's gone on there like that. Now I'm not really very happy with that because it's all bowed around there, but we'll see how it goes when the engine's together. We may decide to move that around a bit. So there you can see we're like that, so we've got this throttle return. I don't like that at all, because you can see that what's happening is that the leads are actually pushing that spring out, and surely that spring should be straight. We'll see, maybe it needs to be like that for a reason, so later on when we put the engine halves together, I may just swap it all about a bit. It's easy to do. Okay, and then finally we're going to take a SM screw. Okay, so we've got the screw here. Alright, so this is a metal screw. This is going to be, I may have to tap the thread, we shall see. See if we can drive it in without doing that. And then we're going to fit this tank. Okay, so that tank is going that way round, and this is going to go under here. So it's going to go into there like that, and then that screw is going to go into there, and that goes in. Lovely, you don't need to be tapping the thread in there. She's saying that it is a bit stiff, but it is going in. It's not going to put blisters on the palms of your hands. Okay, so we've got that there. So that's all gone together beautifully. Other than that spring, I'm not so sure about that, but as I say, it's going to be easy to just unclip it and then reroute it. We'll put some leads under and some leads over it, but there it is as it is for now. So that's it for pack 15. So this has been part 14, pack 15, and as you can see, we have got all these bits left over now. So we've got some BM screws, and we've got those 3 pipes left over. I'm not going to worry about labelling any of that because it's obvious what it is. It's when you have little springs and stuff like that. So thank you for watching. I will see you all back for part 15, which will be pack 16. Eventually what will happen is it'll slow down, there'll be less to do, so then we'll combine, so we'll end up with sort of, you know, video build part 20, and we're looking at packs 27 and 28, 29, so that sort of thing. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon with pack 16. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.